studio at Two Girls Treasure. I'm Diane Pruitt. We are in Florence, South Carolina. The sun's shining, the temperatures are nice and cool, and the projects are amazing. Today we're going to work with our brand new Iron Orchid Designs 2026 Summer Collection molds. We've created some castings from resin, and we're going to work with our Rethunk Junk Paint products, a little bit of decoupage, some Pentart magic, and perhaps a few pieces from some of the Summer 2026 collection transfers. I hope you have your products together for your projects so that you can play along while we work on these amazing and beautiful pieces. You may have seen the one in the little thumbnail. Let me put my glasses on so I can show you this one. How lovely. What a beautiful little magnet for your refrigerator or a small shelf decor piece. You know, all of your decor doesn't have to be huge. Some of it can be small. I think the guys are here to work on the doors, which is wonderful. So we're going to let them do their door thing, and we're going to get started. Now, if you saw the picture yesterday, this is what you saw on Facebook. A bunch of tape on a piece of wood. Nothing really spectacular about that, but if you're a book nerd, this just might be something you love. I don't know about you, but when I do get the time to read, I love a good blanket and my favorite chair. And it would be lovely to have a blanket ladder with my book bindings on them. So this is the bookish mold set from Iron Orchid Designs. And what I've done is attached them with tape, not glue, to the face of the blanket ladder rail. So that way they would take on the shape I needed them to take on, so that they would curve and attach better. So there are some spots still, because I poured all of them at one time. I did pour a couple of them a little shallow so they would be easier to maneuver. And this one I did not. So it didn't want to take the shape, and it started to cool off before I got it on here because I did all four at one time. This one took a great shape, but I shallow poured this. This one needs a little bit of work, and again, these are not glued on. I just taped them while they were warm so they would take the shape I needed them to before we attach these. And see how the bindings are curved? Before we attach these to our wooden posts, I'm going to go ahead and finish drilling out the holes for the rungs in the center, and then we'll paint all of this. We'll put the book bindings on and paint all of this all at one time. This was kind of fun. I was very excited, and I thought, I know a bookworm or two, and how lovely it would be for them to have a blanket ladder to keep their favorite blankets on when they go to their book nook. So I'm going to peel these back, and we're going to go ahead and take the curved castings off. And they're curved just right for the rails. And when I put them on, I may need to heat them a little bit just to get them to take that curvature. I may need to use our Pentart Heavy Body Gel so that there's enough material behind that book binding to attach it firmly to the wood. I think that's going to be our best course of action with these, and I can't wait to start this project. This seems like it's going to be a tomorrow sort of thing, because today I'll measure, mark, and drill the holes out. Tomorrow we have our work cut out for us, literally and figuratively. All right, we'll set those to the side because that is what we'll do there. I'm excited for that. Now, a project where I can sit down, let my hair down, rest a little bit. I think this will be great fun. Have you gotten all of the mold sets from the 2026 summer collection? If you have not, um, we have sold out of several of the collection pieces. We did sell out of swans. There are more on the way. Yes, you can pre-order them. We sold out of bookish on Sunday evening online. No, I'm not open on Sunday. Yes, you can always order your products from us online. And when you do, if you're local, you can mark them for pickup in person. And if you're not local, we will get them shipped out to you ASAP. Uh, if you place your order before 2 p.m. on a weekday, we will get them out to you that day. And if you place your order after that, it'll be next day shipping. If you need it in a hurry, we'll do the best we can. Please remember, we live in a small town and we don't always have all of the fabulous 24-hour a day services that big cities do. Good morning. Welcome in. What are these for? No, they're not ceramics. So these are actually resin castings of our mold sets. So this is called Bookish, and it is a mold set of book bindings. And we used resin yesterday and created these castings. And we're going to use these to create decor items. So the book bindings is what you saw on the railings, and we're going to use those to create a blanket ladder for a book nook. This is frames 3. We have frames 1 and 2. This is frames 3. This is a mold set. Now, you know, you can use clay in here. You can use resin. If you do sugar art, get a separate set. But you can use these to make cookies, candies. You can make your wax melts with these. Michelle Fippard in New Hampshire from Serendipity also uses these, not this particular set, but she uses her molds to make decorative butter pats. So she sets a beautiful table at Thanksgiving. How do you go about? Oh, they just broke something. I'll be right back. That sounded expensive. Hey, what failed? Okay, all right. Okay, please excuse me. When they come in, sometimes they break things. And I'm back here and I can't see them. But they are working on the doors because they were broken yesterday. All right. So you can use your mold sets for a variety of different projects. I personally love to pour resin. Let me tip the camera so you can see all of the resin castings I poured yesterday. And there's some on the roundabout also because I put them up there so I could paint them and put decoupage on them. But these are so much fun to work with. If you've never used them, we have several videos where we have created castings. And then I can show you today what you do once you have the castings made and making the mold. No, Iron Orchid Designs, which is a family-owned company out of California, they design these, and then we use them. Um, I think that they have some of the best detail of any of the pieces that we work with. Now, I have a project in mind for these, so I'm going to set these to the side. And I have a project for these in mind. These are so beautiful. I discovered yesterday that I could not see these really well. This is from the Cadre mold set. Aren't those beautiful little cherubs? So sweet. I absolutely loved it. And these are your frames from your frame set. And that's how I created these. Little bunny. And I used our Pentart gloss. Let's see, pouring glaze. I used the pouring glaze over the top of this to make it look like it had a mirror or a glass on it. So let's get started because we have a lot of pieces to work with. And I'll show you how this goes. So I cast these and I painted them in Bashful Blush. Such a beautiful, gentle cottage color. Now let's take out, I have not opened this yet. This is our, the Belgravia transfer set. This is brand new also. There's some small pieces in here, and I would like to create some small piece magnets. I love a magnet, but I hate an ugly magnet. And I don't want a magnet that says I visited the Grand Canyon. If I go there, I want something more substantial. But this has some beautiful little florals in it. And I think we can create a very lovely centerpiece with these florals. Let me get out my little tiny snippers. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this little piece right here. I think it'll fit just nicely inside of that frame. And I need a small, long one to go in that frame. And it needs to be narrow. I think that's a little too big. This is such a beautiful set. I absolutely adore it. And the thing I love about the combination of using these pieces with these castings is that it can be so simple. It doesn't have to be a difficult project. And you know, sometimes I make things a little harder than they have to be. I don't mean to. I do extra. I do extra really well. I'm going to grab one of these very small rose pieces from right here. And let me tip this out around this edge. I don't want to trim out and snip any of my saucers or my teacups. But that little tiny piece is going to fit in here very nicely. And even though it's longer and it'll go sideways, it will still look perfect. So we're going to lay that one in there. And even though I painted the entire inside in pink, in order to make sure these are nice and bright, good morning, I'm actually going to knock the whole world over first and then take our cloud, our brightest white, and I'm just going to touch over the center of these real quickly. Let me grab a small brush, and these are out from under the fan. I'm going to put just a gentle coat on because you want to make sure that your paint is very dry before you put your transfers over the top. And I am going to cover the entire inside in white, but a very, very light coat of white so that it'll dry quickly. There we go. Those will dry in just seconds. Probably by the time I finish putting this over here and sit back down, this one's almost dry. This will be dry quickly. So that's just about dried nicely. I love that. And I have another one right here. I probably should have gone ahead and pulled something. The saucer would be perfect in here. Let's take a look while those are drying and see if there's a saucer the size of this round frame, because those saucers were precious. I think they're a little big. Let there be a small saucer. If there's not, it's okay. We can go with something else. Oh, that's almost small enough, isn't it? What do you think? I think, to be specific, let's go ahead and measure. Our inside is right at 2 inches, a little bit under 2 inches, and this is right at 2 inches. Y'all, watch this happen. All right, which saucer? We have 2 to choose, 3 to choose from. I think I'll go with the pink, although I absolutely adore the cherubs. Let's grab those cherubs. You want to? I love a good Victorian cherub project. This sheet doesn't want to come out comfortably. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fan back off. Our paint is dry. There we go. It just didn't want to let go, but I need it to because I really want that saucer. And we'll save that teacup for another project. Isn't that a lovely teacup? We'll save that for another project. I'll lay the page back in, and I have my blue tape right here. If you've been watching for any time, good morning, then you know I will tape the edges to protect this from coming apart. We don't want that to fall out. You know I'm a messy child, and I didn't sweep the floor between yesterday and today, so we don't want this to fall in the floor and get dirty. We want it to stay right here and be lovely. So we're going to tuck this back in, and we'll close the book and move it to the side. We'll move the tape back out of the way, and now I am so excited to take this piece of transfer and lay it in. I think the pink will be just fine because this is going to cover the entirety of the inside of the casting. So let's lay it in. Straight and easy. Start from the center and work your way out so you can smooth it. Curved surfaces can be a little challenging, but they're actually so easy to get the transfer to release. Once you get it smoothed out and you start rubbing that image onto your surface, a curved surface lets go very quickly. So we'll gently rub over the top of that image. And I'm going to use my finger to go around that edge. Y'all, that saucer fit inside this cavity of this casting. Perfect. Look how sweet that is. And it gilded the edges with the edge of the saucer. That's perfect. I am in love with this piece. Absolutely in love with this piece. That's perfect. We need to gloss over that with our pouring glaze when we get done so that that is shiny like it has a mirror over it, a glass over it. Oh, I love this. All right, let's go again. These are really dry now. So let me peel that protective back sheet off. And then let's lay this rose and floral into our setting. I'm going to offset the florals so that the rose takes center stage. And again, curved surfaces start at your center so that your center is laid down. And this is just going to come right off the paper. Usually I use my tool to rub those transfers on. This one just came right on, right off onto the surface. This is lovely. This is so beautiful. That will make a lovely gift as well. I am getting ready for school to be out, and we have a lot of teachers to gift some items to, so these are going to be very helpful. Now this one, it looks to either go this way or this way. I think in either instance, no matter how we lay these roses in, it will work just fine. So we'll center these so that the entire image goes in. Curved surface, lay your center in first. I love these small projects because you can really just use your finger to rub the image onto your surface, and it releases so easily from its protective sheet. I missed one little spot right there. We'll dash that in. Everything is laid in. I'll rub over it with my finger so it is in there. If you do miniatures and you have doll houses, this goes either way. I like it this way because it looks like a crown piece. But if you do miniatures in doll houses, these are perfect for your projects. Now, I have a lump on this one from where I dripped my resin when I was almost done. So I think what I'm going to have to do is take my Dremel. Oh, I might have it. And I'll have to smooth it with some sandpaper, undoubtedly. But I think I can get most of that drip out because otherwise my back is not going to be flat. And if I put a magnet on, it won't be smooth. If I try to adhere it to something else, it won't be smooth. But I got those pieces off. Still needs to be just cleaned up a little bit. But what a lovely piece. I'm in love with these. All right, now let's do, it's 9:38 and I know I had to step away. Boy, time flies when you're having a really good time. Let me grab another paintbrush. And which one do I want? I think I want this one. I'm going to grab a soft bristled straight brush, and it actually resembles one of my chip brushes. So I'm going to take our Pentart pouring glaze and our casting. I'm going to smooth this one more time to try to get any wrinkles that I may have out of that transfer image. And then I'm going to take my pouring glaze and I'm just going to brush over the top of that saucer image, and we're going to let that dry. I'll turn the fan on so these dry a little bit quicker, and we're going to repeat this process on these other two. And I'm using the pouring glaze only over the surface that I put the transfers on. That's the only surface that I want that shiny right now. Because when the pouring glaze dries, it gives the illusion that there's glass over the top of it. So it really does give the appearance of a small decor item and a piece of artwork. Oh, I just love those so much. I'm going to take another minute before we go. I'm going to have to be careful because I have the fan on those. So I'm going to scoot those over and shift the fan. This, my friends, is my secret stash of tiny pictures. So this is a collection of decoupage paper images that I forget which set they came from. I don't want them blowing away because it took a little bit of time to cut all of these out, so I don't want to lose them to the breeze. Move those up, spin that around. So I want a piece that'll fit inside here, or that we can use. This is lovely. It's a beautiful landscape. It's not quite big enough, but these look so good in this frame. Let's see what else we have. We have beautiful florals. I don't know if you can see that. That looks like a lush green forest. We have the rabbits. Oh, we have the flamingos. These are perfect. Love the flamingos. Let's put a flamingo in this one. Now, I did not cast these with black dye. I cast these in white. I won't get the whole flamingo in, but I'll get his head, most of his tail feathers. We can shift it over just a little bit. And I'll show you the best way to lay these in. He just doesn't quite cover. I know what I can do. Oh, here we go. We're going to use the lush green. We're going to put this back, and we're going to put this back. I don't want to lose my image of my flamingo because he's so regal. So we'll cover these over, and we'll set them underneath something so that they don't get winded. Now, our flamingo, let's go ahead and cut out the white space here. And we'll cut the white space on here. Sewing scissors are awesome for your decoupage and your transfer work. Just so you know. That's beautiful. All right. Let's lay our flamingo on here. And even though he is in black, let's split this one straight down the middle. I'll fold it over. We still won't need all of it, but this is going to be so cool. What a beautiful tropical scene we can create. And we'll lay these on top of him. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. My Rethunk Gunk, that's low luster. Here it is. Rethunk Gunk by Rethunk Junk Paint by Laura. This is our decoupage medium. This is a great product because decoupage medium to add paper or fabric pizzazz to your project. This works on paper or fabric. Apply a thin coat of gunk. Press on the paper or fabric embellishment. Remove as many bubbles or wrinkles as possible, and while it's still wet, apply another coat of gunk over the top. Gunk dries with a clear matte finish and then seal it. You don't have to because the gunk does act as a sealant. There we go. I put the lid on crooked. All right. I am going to turn the fan back off and grab. You'd think I'd have my paintbrushes on my table. Y'all would think that, except I have a lot of materials on the table, and I didn't want one more thing gumming up my space. And my paintbrushes are right behind me. I need like a circle desk to have hold of everything, right? So I'm going to apply the gunk to the entire surface area right here. Everywhere I want these images to stay is where I'm going to apply the gunk. So that's perfect, just like that. And now I will take my spray bottle, which is right here. I took my bag of toys home last night to work on another project. I'm going to lay the flamingo in the center, and I just put a light spritz of water on. I'm going to shift him over just a little bit. Boy, I tell you what, he went down, he stayed down. That's not bad. And now I'm going to spritz our lush greenery. Now, I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to cut this right now. I'm going to lay this in where I need it. There's going to be extra on that edge. There's going to be extra on the other edge as well. It's okay. Once this dries, once the gunk dries, it will be very easy to remove that extra piece. And I'm going to make sure I use the straight edge on my flamingo. That created the filler we needed on the sides, and he will look very beautiful. What a gorgeous tropical decor piece for when summer does arrive. Summer has not arrived in South Carolina yet, but boy, when it does, we have really enjoyed a great spring. I hope you have too. And we will put another layer of gunk over the entirety of the project. I'm being careful not to come over the edges where I have the extra paper, so that when I get ready, when this is dry and I get ready to cut the extra out from those edges with my straight blade, then it'll come off. It won't be glued on. And then we can gild the edges of the frame how we like. That's going to be a beautiful image. And I can just imagine a refrigerator magnet gift like this. Let's take a look at our, oh, it's dry already. Look, can you see the gloss image? I'm going to put the light on it. Look at the gloss on that. It looks like there is a glass over the top of it. We'll do some highlighting on the edges of this. I have some rose gold I might use. Look how beautiful. That saucer fit in there just right. And this is absolutely lovely. Such a beautiful gift idea and such an easy and fun project to work on. I took probably an hour yesterday afternoon before I left, and all I did was pour molds, pour castings, and this is what I got from the Cadre and the Frames 3 mold set. Plus, I got our bookish molds, and I have some for the blanket ladders. And today, I knew that with all of these poured, I could do all of these small projects at one time. A little bit of processing a little bit of production work, which is not something I really like doing. But we have a lot of teachers to gift to. This has been an amazing school year, and I want to give them something very special, unique, and something that they'll treasure for a long time to come. So, we have some great gifts in the process here, and I'm looking forward to gifting these to some very special teachers and administrative staff at our school. If you have gifts that you need to prepare, well, now's the time. We do have the Alumilite clear casting resin in stock. We are sold out of the quick cast, which is what these are made from. This cures in about 8 to 10 minutes. Um, but we can get you some. The decoupage papers are available on our website. The transfers are available on our website. I don't think we've sold out of Belgravia. I think we have one more left. Who's going to claim that? And we have some other transfer sets that are available. Of course, we carry everything that Iron Orchid Designs creates. And we are an authorized Rethunk Junk retailer, so we have all of your Rethunk Junk Paint products. We have your Pentart. We have the DIY project things. The only thing we don't have is you. So if you have some things to get done, let us know how we can help you. I'm going to sit here for just a little while longer after I go check on the progress of our broken doors and see what we can do to get some of these projects finished today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Diane Pruitt. We're in the studio at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina, creating beautiful things. I hope you found this to be an inspiration today. Have a beautiful day. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. We'll see you right back here tomorrow for Paint Therapy Thursday. Are you ready for that? I am. Bye, y'all.